Hello there, welcome to my channel. Welcome to my video, my first hiking video. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, so I do hope you enjoy it. If so, please give it a like or maybe comment somewhere there in the comment section, and that might cue me to do some more videos like this, as it is a favorite pastime as well as wildlife viewing. In this video, I will be focusing on areas in West Yellowstone, east and west of Bighorn Pass, Fawn Pass, and Nice's Creek. These hikes are both group hikes and solo hikes, both within the park and outside of the park boundaries, and both on-trail and off-trail bushwhacking. We'll start things off with this backcountry coyote that came trotting out from behind this island of trees, completely oblivious to our presence. This being the result of remaining still, silent, and observant during a wildlife sighting. This really afforded us the opportunity to view this coyote for an extended period of time. It really wasn't until I went to make an adjustment on my tripod that it began to notice who or what we may be, at that point deciding it wanted nothing to do with us, as it should be. plumb lost my hat. Oftentimes, bushwhacking off trail can lead to some very impressive views, as was the case here. I think this is going to make a fantastic spot to have a lunch and review my map a little bit more. This section of the video has been sped up a bit to sort of emphasize the sheer number of grizzly digs we are seeing along our hikes, especially the further we got back into the backcountry. Some digs older than others. We mainly investigate these digs to get an idea of their food sources. Oftentimes that's pocket gophers that they're digging for and chasing underground, as well as the roots and bulbs of glacier lilies and spring beauties. Here's an older dig that yielded a very good example of a back paw print from a grizzly bear. Obviously, its front paws were too preoccupied to leave a decent print as it dug for its food source. Here is another definitive back paw print from this grizzly. Ant mounds are also a food source for grizzly bears, more of a snack opportunity, as they will simply just take a scoop out of that mound and get a mouthful of ants as they wander right by it in search of bigger things. This grizzly dig is probably one of the more extreme grizzly digs that I've come across in the backcountry. This bear just absolutely obliterated this fallen log in pursuit of its food source. This must have really been quite the scene. You can just imagine all the dirt and roots and splintered shards of timber flying through the air as this bear spent an exuberant amount of its energy, all for a morsel of substance. Perhaps these gophers felt safer burrowing down next to a fallen tree, but that simply just wasn't the case, as the bear did indeed sniff them out, and will continue to sniff out many more as it wanders through the backcountry of Yellowstone. Something about this grizzly dig just outside the park boundaries really got my attention. Upon taking a closer look, I noticed this shiny piece of obsidian rock. It's very flat, polished, and chiseled, and resembles that of a broken arrowhead. This was Indian hunting grounds, and there is no obsidian rock in this area, so I'm choosing to believe that this grizzly bear might very well have excavated a broken arrowhead from the ground. It really pays to have a forensic approach to your hikes. It kind of helps you put the pieces of the puzzle together as to what the bears are doing. It'll make you more bear aware and a safer hiker as a result. Plus, you just never know what you might find. Here we have a very good example of a well-used rubbing tree. The bears are using these trees to leave their scent. Here you can see the grizzly claw marks, a good 7.5, 8 feet high. I imagine it feels pretty good for a bear to dig those claws in and stretch and work their back along the tree and hit all those hard to reach spots. What's really going on here is that the bears are using these trees as a chemical calling card, so to speak, sort of a who's who as to who's in the area. Another way of looking at it would be to say, if you were a bear, this tree would be your source of social media. It would be how you leave likes, comments, and share things with other bears. Further studies suggest that the bears are specifically seeking out these trees that are high in tree resin, such as the pine, for the tree resin itself. It acts as sort of a tick repellent for the bears. Usually there's no one real reason why bears do what they do, so it's all very fascinating. And what you just saw there is why it's a good idea to always filter your water when you are in the backcountry, especially in the lower meadows, as that's where I tend to see a lot of wolf scat and coyote scat along the creeks. I, for one, feel safer with the water that's in higher elevations or at the source of a spring, but a good rule of thumb is to just always filter your water in the backcountry should you need it. Started the morning in puffy coat, winter cap, and gloves. As you can see, it's midday and I've shed all that. This is why it's important to dress in layers when you hike Yellowstone during the springtime. Though no bears were seen at a distance on these particular hikes at these particular times, it's still all very rewarding and exhilarating just seeing the signs of them and knowing that they frequent these areas. The fact remains that observing a grizzly bear in the backcountry doesn't come easily and often requires a lot of time on the trails. While doing so, I just simply ask that we all leave no trace, hike peacefully and observantly, be respectful of all the wildlife and their habitat, maintain your safe distances, do carry bear spray and have it accessible and know how to use it in a variety of situations. I'm aware that hiking quietly in grizzly bear habitat is not the method that's widely recommended, but it is the method that suits me best and rewards me with more wildlife viewing opportunities. And quite honestly, it gives the hiker more time to react and make a decision that would have a peaceful outcome for both the wildlife as well as the hiker. To me, barging straight into grizzly habitat, making a bunch of noise, would heighten the chances of a surprise encounter. But it's all a personal hiking preference, and one hiker must do what they feel suits them best. If you have a big interest in hiking Yellowstone's backcountry and you watch a lot of videos on the matter, odds are you may recognize the individual in some of my clips as the great Stan Mills. He, of course, is a Yellowstone hiking extraordinaire and a purveyor of the hiking peacefully and respectfully method while in grizzly habitat. And in my honest, humble opinion, he is the architect of that ethos. He's a very knowledgeable man and spends a lot of time hiking within the park as well as its greater Yellowstone ecosystem. Highly recommend that you head over to his YouTube channel and give him a follow and start watching his videos. I've been a fan of his channel for years and was very grateful to spend a few hikes with him. If you're searching for some reading material, I would highly suggest the book Yellowstone Grizzlies, A Decade of My Experiences. This happens to be written by my dad, Robert J. Nevins Sr., who has spent the better half of 20 years hiking into the backcountry of Yellowstone and its surrounding ecosystem and photographing grizzly bears. His book is chock full of these experiences, his wildlife encounters, mishaps, and the book also serves as a little glimpse into the mismanagement of grizzly bears. It's a very informative book and I highly recommend it. Very grateful to have been along on some of these experiences and beyond grateful for the things that I have experienced with my dad, including but not limited to my very first backcountry grizzly. You can never have enough knowledge when it comes to hiking Yellowstone. Yellowstone Grizzlies, A Decade of My Experiences is available for purchase on Amazon. That will do it for now. I do hope you enjoyed the video and the springtime views from West Yellowstone during May.